What a bummer of a day, man. What a bummer of a day. God, I feel so bad for Kyle Larson. Indy 500 and Coca-Cola 600. Monaco Grand Prix. Greatest day in racing review. It's 12:42 in the morning. I'm gonna talk about it now and then edit this in the morning, but... Oh, God, what a day, dude. What a day. For good and bad reasons, but... let's get into this. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another NASCAR race review video. Coca-Cola 600 review. Ah, man, what a bummer of a way to end this race. But, oh well. We gotta take the cards that we're dealt with and we gotta roll with the punches here in the sport. Christopher Bell, spoiler alert, he wins the Coca-Cola 600. Was probably the most dominant car when it comes to leading laps. I mean, we'll talk about it more in a bit, but overall, through all of the race, I think Christopher Bell probably had the best car. But let's talk about Monaco first. This was the greatest day in racing. I woke up and had breakfast to the Monaco Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc, my Monegasque boy. That's the only reason Monaco is good, man. I'm a Charles Leclerc guy. I'm a Ferrari guy. It made Monaco so damn good for me. It was great to see Charles get in the victory lane, man. I gotta say, it was great to see Charles pull in the victory lane. It was great weekend for me, I gotta say. I gotta see Charles Leclerc win the Monaco Grand Prix. Man United won the FA Cup yesterday. Wait, this hand. How do I line it up? Hey, shout out the boys. The man in red. Eric Ten Hag has 2 more trophies than Mikel Arteta. Arsenal fans, talk to me, please. But anyway, let's go. Leclerc dominated Monaco. It was refreshing not to see Verstappen in first for a whole race. Ferrari and McLaren were the 2 teams going at it in the front. No one could really overtake unless you're at the back, but... oh, God. I'm ready to call it a night, dude. Jesus Christ. It is 1 in the morning, and I'm here recording. There's no way I'm editing this tonight. There's no way. I'll edit this in the morning. Like, oh my God, bro. Oh my God, I don't want to be doing this right now. I really don't, but it's got to be done. Nothing much more to say about Monaco there. Leclerc wins, and yeah, Indy 500. This was where the action was at. For you, if you were a jet dryer at least, but man, it was fun to watch those kids and all those people racing around the friggin' garage, making it a competition. That was fun to watch, I will say, watching that on Instagram. But, hell, I watched last year's Indy 500 and this year's Indy 500 all on the same day. But, man, it was a lot more intriguing for me because Larson was in it. And Larson made the decision once he knew Indy was getting rained out. Indy got started around, 4:30 Eastern time? I live in Atlantic time, so I'm a time zone ahead of Eastern. So, it started at 5:30 for me. Oh my God. Yeah. Dude, I am exhausted. Well, Ericsson crashed on the first lap. Who else crashed? There were 8 Hondas out of the race to start. Will Power had a bad crash. Colton Herta had a bad crash. It was quite, honestly, it's the opposite of how Indy 500s have usually been in the past, because all the cautions seem to usually fly at the end of the race, but in this year, it was all the cautions were in the first 100 laps, like Danica, Mike Tirico, Hinchcliffe, Lee Diffie. They're all saying, they took too much coffee, and in the, while they were waiting to get on track, and I can't say I disagree. Did you see how many wrecks there were in the beginning? Oh my God, it felt like they were gonna wreck every freaking time. I don't know how many cautions there ended up being, but yeah. I mean, Larson had a top 10 car the whole day. really. I think he could have genuinely pulled off a top 10 or a top 5. But, man, I really hope he gets to do this again next year, because the way it fell into his hands this year was so sad. But that first restart, he accidentally went into 3rd gear, which dropped him down a few spots. Could never really get that track position back up because there were guys on different strategies. But Larson pulled back into 6th with the strategy looked like he was falling his way. He pits. Who did he pit with? I think it was Rossi. Who he pitted with. But Larson locks it up, gets a speeding penalty, and Larson is essentially the last car on the lead lap of the Indy 500. He brought it home 18th, but what a race at the front towards the end. Like, McLaughlin dominated the first half of the race, and that, well, I mean, you got a bit of Stingray Robb and Connor Daly in there too, but man, towards the end of the race, Newgarden came strong, Dixon got up front for a bit, Rossi was up there, Pato O'Ward got up there, and then it came down to Pato O'Ward versus Joseph Newgarden at the end. I'll put like Newgarden overtaking Pato in the last lap, but for the last 25 laps, it felt like it was new leader every lap. And I kept telling people, people ask me, why do you keep talking about the Indy 500 so much? I'm like, watch this race and tell me why you aren't talking about the Indy 500. Like, it's such an amazing event, man. I really hope I get to go one of these days. Maybe next year, maybe the year after, but I have to get to Indianapolis one of these years, man. It's too good. It's just too good of a race not to go to. I mean, I've only done the one IndyCar race. I've vlogged it on this channel. It's the Toronto race. Man, IndyCar is awesome. It's so goddamn awesome. You gotta watch IndyCar if you don't, because, man, it's so damn awesome. But, let's get into the Coke 600. I'm not gonna lie, for the first, stage and a half, my full attention was not on the Coca-Cola 600. It was on the Indianapolis 500. It was focused on the end of that. I had it up. I had the Indy 500 up on the TV. I had the Coke 600 on my phone. I was looking down when I could, but man, I'm telling you guys, Indy 500 is must-see TV. I was like, man, my post-race recap might sacrifice a bit, but man, it is what it is. But oh well. Yeah, let's talk about it. Ty Gibbs dominated most of stage 1, and then a few cautions came out. I can't remember who crashed. I know Blaney hit the wall at one point. I don't know. Yeah, that put Blaney out of the race. Had a flat, hit the wall. I don't know why that didn't cause a caution. I mean, if it was any other track, it probably would have. You've seen what they called for a caution with Kyle Busch at Richmond. So, why wasn't that a caution? I don't know. But, yeah. William Byron ended up getting the lead. I believe it was on a restart. He took the outside on a choose cone, took the lead, won stage 1, and then Christopher Bell got it the start of stage 2. He really dominated stage 2. It was him and Byron. Was it in stage? No, I think it was in the beginning of stage 3 where Byron made that really cool pass in the grass on Ty Gibbs and Tyler Reddick. Yeah, the Toyotas were quick today. All of them really seem to be up there. Denny Hamlin, Bubba Wallace. Who else was up there? Reddick, Gibbs. God, who else? Truex was up there at points too. All the Toyotas seem to be really fast. And Chev was consistent as per usual, but Ford only really had Brad Keselowski, man. Chris Buescher was working his way up there, but he got stuck behind John Hunter Nemechek in the pits, and then Denny Hamlin got stuck behind Chris Buescher, so that just created a really bad domino effect on pit road. Oh, dude, I am so tired. Oh, I can't wait to get to bed. But yeah, no, I think at the end of the day, yeah, Bell pretty well dominated stage 2. But honestly, I think Brad Keselowski had the best car in this race. And he was probably only 5 or so laps away from getting that lead from Christopher Bell, too. I really do think that. I think Brad Keselowski should have been the winner tonight. The more the nighttime rolled in, the better his car got. The 6 team really did a good job of setting up his car for the night. I mean, there were different strategies throughout the race. I mean, now that I think about it, Stuart Haas had Josh Berry up there. Noah Gragson was up in the top 10 too, till he had a really bad crash, so that really sucks for Noah. I was watching this at a friend's house, and I was just, all I hear is crash, and then I see the Bass Pro Shops. It's like, oh, is that Truex? And then I'm like, no, it's Noah, not Noah. I don't know. When Kyle Busch retires, the driver I'm going to cheer for is Noah Gragson. Noah Gragson or Chase Briscoe, the 14, still around at that point. I grew up a Tony Stewart fan. So, yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, no. Bell won stage 2, and then we only got 50 laps through stage 3, where the race got called. It was some good racing, man, but overall, the race got cut short. Justin Allgaier was filling in for Kyle Larson, as Kyle Larson was in Indianapolis running the 500. Yeah, Justin Allgaier, man, the beginning of the race wasn't great, but as he was one of those cars as the night went on, he would have got better too. And if Larson was able to step in that car, man, I do think it definitely could have pulled off a top 5 at bare minimum. I really think that car had something good underneath it. I mean, I know it wasn't even in the top 20 under the daylight, but man, as the nighttime rolled in, that car got faster, faster, and faster. So, Allgaier brought it home 13th. Oh, man, such a bummer for Larson. I feel so bad for this guy. This was one of the most hyped up events for this year. Rain, I mean, delays the start of the Indy 500. At least he got to run the whole Indy 500. But he didn't even get to run a lap at the Coke 600, man. He didn't even get to run a lap. Such a bummer, man. It's such a bummer. Anyway, that's... Yeah. Sucks for Larson. Let's get into these results, because, man, this is depressing to talk about. Christopher Bell pulls off the win at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, followed by Brad Keselowski, William Byron, Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, Ty Gibbs, Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, Alex Bowman, and Josh Berry round out your top 10. That's a pretty solid top 10. I mean, happy Josh Berry got a top 10. Alex Bowman had a really good car, too. I should give him a shout-out. Chase was up there, good up there in the beginning, had a good qualifying run. Won the Xfinity race yesterday, but his car just faded from there. Had to try some different strategies. Outside of the top 10, Bubba Wallace, Martin Truex, Justin Allgaier filling in for Kyle Larson. Good result for Allgaier. Joey Logano, Kyle Busch. Oh, I'm pretty sure he had one penalty for sure, but he might have had 2. I can't remember, but the front row boys bringing home 16th and 17th, McDowell and Gilliland, followed by Hemrick, Jones, Cindric, Hocevar, Haley, Buescher. Man, I think Buescher had a lot more left to give. Suarez, Briscoe, Priest, Dillon, Van Gisbergen. Jimmy Johnson brought it home in the top 30. Whoop, whoop, Jimmy Johnson. He didn't crash in a race. He brought it home on the lead lap, I think. He actually beat his teammate. He beat John Hunter Nemechek. I can't believe we're talking about Jimmy Johnson this way. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Harrison Burton, Zane Smith, Kaz Gralla, Corey LaJoie, Ty Dillon, BJ McLeod. And the DNF cars were Noah Gragson, Ryan Blaney. BJ McLeod had an accident. That was the first stage caution. And JJ Yaley had a steering failure, so he was car number 40 on the grid. Yeah, man, to give this race a rating, the racing on track was really solid until the red flag and the race being called. It's such a damper on things, man, because the Coca-Cola 600, especially since the next gen car, has been such a hyped up race, but I'm going to give it a 75%. Probably would have been higher, but if the race had went to the end, if Kyle Larson got back in the car, but the racing was good on track for what we got for 250 laps, but yeah, it's a shame. Off to St. Louis next week. Oh my god. Can you tell I had pizza today? Man. It's always nice to have a greatest day in racing. Monaco got their race in on time, no issues. Well, they did have a red flag for like 30 laps because of Perez and Magnussen crashing, but side note, what on earth is Esteban Ocon thinking? Like, dude will do anything to crash into his teammate, I swear, but it's going to be a shorter race review than usual, and I mean, as it should be, considering the race was 150 laps shorter than what it should be. It was like a 350 miler today, but oh my god, guys. I've got to get to bed. I'm sorry if you wanted a longer race review, but man, with the 500 and 600 overlapping, it just bummed me out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really bummed out. I'm really tired. Coke 600 gets a 75% on the Dagley race rating review. Yeah, on the St. Louis next week. Hopefully it's not raining there. I'm actually going to check the forecast now to make sure, because I do not want to deal with rain anymore, for the love of God. Oh my god, it's calling for rain all day Saturday. At least it's Saturday, but oh, dude. Wait, well, isn't it in Madison, Illinois? The weather might be different from Madison. Let me look. Illinois. There we are. Oh. Okay, it's calling for one little sprinkle between 1 and 3 on Sunday. Hopefully that changes. But, oh, God. Oh, God. Can we get one race in? Like, please, can the rain just go somewhere else that isn't where we're racing? Like, please. It would be nice. But what can you do? If you guys enjoyed today's race review, if you enjoyed the greatest day in racing, make sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe with notifications turned on so you never miss any future uploads. I am going the hell to bed because it has been a long-ass day. I got 2 different stints of 4 hours of sleep last night because I was sleeping in a tent. And yeah. Hopefully the weather's better at St. Louis next week. Oh my goodness. Have a good one, guys. And until next time, I'll see you for St. Louis next week. Take care and peace.